Hey, Dr. Evan here. Well, just like that, winter is truly beginning to announce itself in Australia. Now's the time to drag out the blankets and uggies, blow the summer dust off the heater, and stock up on all that soup. But wait, what about our besties? Well, it's important to remember that our four-legged friends are feeling it just as much as you are too. So, how can we safely keep our furry family members warm in the winter? Nothing is as cute as a pug in a hoodie or a kitten in a beanie. However, clothing for our pets isn't just fashionable, it's also functional, especially for those little ones with shorter coats. There are so many options nowadays when it comes to coats, hats, and jackets for our little or even big fur family. You follow the swans? Well, you can pick up the jersey online. Got a comical or political statement that you swear by? Well, there's at least 20 lines of accessories available that can fulfill the fashionista in even the most discerning of dashies. But before I go full fur crazy, I have some advice to make sure your little floof is a comfy little floof. Firstly, always make sure that your pet has ample space to breathe. You'd be surprised to know how many pups have their jackets on just a little bit too tight. Also make sure the coat itself can breathe and isn't made from synthetic materials. Even on a really cold day, a doggy in a faux leather jacket can get really uncomfortable, especially if they're in the sun. Now, remember that pups can't sweat either, so watch the panting for signs your pooch might need a cool down. Also, make sure there's no dangly cords or buttons that can easily be swallowed or can cause constriction to their airway. First of all, let's get something straight about your pet's coat. A pet's coat is nothing like a jumper or a parka, especially a dog's. The best way to think of it is that your dog's coat works far more like the insulation on your favourite esky. It not only keeps them warm in winter, but also supremely cool in summer. I'm going to do a blog on how canine and feline thermoregulation works. But in short, how a pet's coat works is incredibly different to what humans presume. Shaving their fur, even in summer, can have a really negative effect on their well-being as it's used to regulate their temperature. If you do need to trim or groom your pet, limit the trim to the feet and the muzzle, and remember to bath them indoors with warm water. Blow dry them dry or have a super extended towel wrestle before letting them back outside again. We all know the struggle of having to get out of the shower first thing in the morning, so let's make sure everyone's all dry, warm, and super snuggly. Now, if you can, keeping your little buddies inside over the winter period is definitely ideal. However, it is understandable if your dog is primarily an outdoor pet that changing their sleeping habits can be a little bit tricky. But a kennel or box filled with blankets for your pet will be welcome when the frosty mornings start to hit, and having a toasty bed under their own little roof to help escape the chill will make them super happy. As for cats, they should never be let out at night. On average, they kill around 20 native Australian animals every single night they're out, in mice, lizards, and other furries, accounting for around 1 billion native Australians dying each year purely because cats are let out at night. If you're lucky enough to live in snow country or you get some serious frosts, you might have to provide Uggs for your pugs. Always remember to introduce these slowly. Boots are a foreign concept for most dogs and can sometimes take some time to get used to. Some pups just don't like it. But remember, treats are your friend. Starting with just one on one foot for 5 minutes, then over a week or so, introduce more shoes and for longer periods until your pup can basically almost lace their own. For those of us that aren't such spring chickens anymore, we have to keep a special eye out for them. With a range of inflammatory and arthritic conditions affecting older pets, active warming or medications becomes more necessary when it's colder. Elderly pets suffer during the colder weather and may benefit from a visit to your local vet for a checkup if they are getting around a little bit slower. A lot of medical conditions are exacerbated by the cold as it affects circulation, blood pressure, and exercise, just like you. I hope that with these tips, all of our buddies are toasty and dry this winter. And remember, one of the best ways to keep your pets and you warm is a great big cuddle in bed. So we say get hugging.